back to the streets. This time we're running across a political family. Father's out in California in a school board. One of the sons works, it looks like to be security for the San Francisco 49ers and Oakland Raiders. And the other works for a congressman from Illinois. So, a nice little chat with them about the trials and tribulations of, living out in California for one, being a Republican on a school board, and that was the dad. And with one of the sons, how he feels about the Kaepernick kneeling BS, and then the other son working for the rep, he gives a little rundown on, how our phone calls are handled, how our messages are handled. Do they even listen? How do they rate them? So it's all right, a little bit informative. And yes, you should contact your representatives. So it does matter. So if you like this video, you know what to do. Like it. If you care, you will share. Again, you look at it, I go up to 950, and then I start plummeting down again. So all week long I've been losing subscribers, which seems kind of weird. So please do share so we can overcome the censorship. And of course, if you really love me, you go ahead and buy something. Get one of my designs on a t-shirt or mug or whatever you're fancy. So, without further ado, let's hit the streets.
We're from California, but I live in D.C. and he lives in San Francisco.
Okay. What are you doing in San Francisco?
I graduated school at SF State, and then I just got a job in operations for like the Raiders and 49ers, and so I work a lot of football games.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it keeps me busy.
But how's about, the whole controversy about the kneeling and all that?
Oh yeah, actually it's kind of funny because we do the security at 49ers, and they made a note. Jim, like the head guy at 49ers said, hey, we're going to stop all gate traffic, so we're not going to let during the national anthem. And so we're going to have not let anyone in during the national anthem, and then we want every employee faces, and we all do it.
They made that a mandate, did they?
Yeah, they made that a thing, and so we don't let anyone in during that national anthem. But I don't know. We'll see.
How do you feel about the politics being injected into sports?
I don't really like it.
Yeah.
Just let people play.
And yourself, what do you do?
I think it's kind of just something that's not really the platform for it.
Where do you do it for your profession? What do you?
I work for a congressman, a Republican from Illinois.
Which one?
John Shimkus.
Oh, how terrific! What do you do for him?
I do if people email him, I email back on his behalf, basically.
Now, let me ask you. So you're like a conduit. You kind of screen or see what's going on.
Yeah.
How does that work when you contact your Congress people? Is there like a grade level or of importance that? How do you score it? Let's say
we don't score anything, but we batch things. So let's say 100 people call us about any the kids getting separated at the border for one. We go for, against, and kind of see what people are feeling.
Where the consensus is.
And the same thing with emails, you know what I mean? And then we kind of send them both back the same kind of response, unless it's a very specific question, you know what I mean?
Now, where does this information go to that you get? Who does that go to an analyst? Does it go straight to the congressman? What do they do?
It goes to me first.
Yeah.
And then I put it all into our internet quorum system and log it all, and then our comms director does polls of it and things like that, and then eventually he goes and presents all that in front of the boss, and it's oh hey, we got 70%.
The boss being
the congressman, the congressman, and then we got 70% for border wall. 20%.
Now, I've heard the figures that a lot of people are not involved in politics. They kind of
Yeah.
So they do an equation for every person that calls in. They equate X amount of people that think like them.
Yeah, it's like probably like 10, unless it's
10 to 1.
Yeah, it's like 10 to 1 person, unless it's someone that calls in all the time.
Right.
If it's a new person that never calls in, then it's like 10 to 1. If it's someone that just always calling pissed, you know what I mean?
Right.
Then it's like 1, you know what I mean? Because, but if it's a new person, like let's say,
so there's like a sliding scale of importance. If like immigration were to come up, something big like that, all of a sudden you get a surge in people.
Of the new people, then it's like or like with like the farm bill and tariffs and everything. There's like a farmer who's never called in. I'll be like, then that's probably like 20 farmers and like feel that way because farmers aren't always, they don't get time to just
they're busy farming. So it's got to be important for them to get off their butts and do something.
Yeah, exactly. So
it matters that people call in. Huh?
Oh, totally. Yeah, it does. It really does. At least with our office. I mean, not every office is the same.
I understand. Well, the big people are looking at it and going, well, why doesn't our Congress do what we want? Well, I was just looking at it, yesterday on Breitbart, there was 68% of the people polled want a wall.
Yeah.
Okay.
I took a field trip in high school in 1976 down to the Mexican border and asked that question, why don't we have a wall? It had fences and holes in it. And the Border Patrol that took us on the tour said, 500 Mexicans will come across here, right out from Tijuana, 500 from over there. And I go, now how many of you are in there are 2 of us. I go, so all we can do is try to grab that 500 and tell them to take their zapatos, take their shoes off. Because we don't want to run through the cactus. If we're going to take the shoes off, that's about all we can do. But you can't shoot and kill them, and then we'll capture them, we'll put them on a bus, we'll take them back, and the next night they'll be at the same place coming across again.
Yeah.
And that was back in the 70s. And I said, why don't we put up an electric fence? Oh, we couldn't put an electric fence up. Or can we put a wall? Like that was the 70s. It's just gotten here, and we're still messing around with it. I mean, you get the Great Wall of China. You go to other countries.
Well, some people like
there used to be the Berlin Wall. Remember? I mean, it's not like
they really disagree about whether we need like a physical wall. Some people are like, well, it'll be harder to tear down and things like that later. Democrats take over, and then some are like, well, maybe we do just like drones, and then just hire
different areas and terrains. I mean, some terrain takes care of it. Other places, the sensors and a drone. Some places you need a physical wall. I mean, that's just common sense.
A big thing too is, I mean, even if you build the wall, I mean, in Southern California, where I live and he's from, they'll take boats up from, and they'll just land up in Laguna Beach, and they'll bring a boatload of people, and they just let them go.
Well, indeed.
I mean, so you can't stop that either. And Chinese are flying over here, and not 8.5 months pregnant from Pasadena, picking up hotels, dropping the baby. Now they got a U.S. citizen. We have to change that.
Well, legally, we let in more people than all the rest of the world combined. So when you add in the illegals, it's just, the illegals, of course, are going to eventually destroy this entire country because they're going to be siphoning off of the system.
Well, they get all the free stuff,
Yeah, and this is what the conjuring has me there. Look, you just brought it up. This problem has existed for how long? Decades, and yet it's not being addressed. So what does this say about the people in Congress? Why isn't this being done?
It was addressed by Ronald Reagan, and he said, we'll do this one-time amnesty, and he said, we'll build up a wall, and then let's enforce our laws. And then the Democrats got in power afterwards, and they never followed through with it. They said, okay, we'll do this. I'll do this if we'll shore this up, and then, then they didn't shore it up.
Well, now I'm looking at, listen, if we want a red tsunami for this November, just keep on playing Pelosi, Warren, Comey clips over and over and over. No borders, no wall, no USA. What the hell? Abolish ICE? And then you read the polls, 68% say they want a wall. What are these people running on? Are they crazy? Yes.
The fighting. California is so screwed. I'm on a school board 14 years. California just voted the Congress and Senate, so it's because they have the majority, Democrats, that they're going to tell us, the local school boards, what time we start school. And it's on the governor's desk to sign. And they're going to tell us what time is right to send kids to school. And that's different for a rural community, different for a suburb. And they're going to tell us what time of year and when.
What the hell are you still doing there?
Then why am I on a school board? Why am I on the school board trying to help local control? But local, the farther you get up here, the less control.
Yes.
Let the people decide here. Well, I know my neighborhood. I go to the grocery store. If they don't like me, they're going to let me know.
Right. I just spoke to a family left California, traveling around in an RV, will never go back.
Oh no, I'm a financial advisor.
You're a financial guy?
And they leave in the state like crazy. I mean,
I got something for you.
This guy's in D.C. and then my other son is in San Francisco right now, but he's like, he works for a company. He's like, my company has a down there, and I can work in New Orleans.
Check this woman out.
Okay.
Professor Iris Mack.
Okay.
Harvard educated MIT, little black lady. Met her out here about 4 years ago.
Okay.
She started looking at my work, started talking. I said, man, you're brilliant. She told me who she was, right?
Yeah.
She stood here for an hour and gave a class to anybody that'd stop and listen to how Obama screwed up the economy.
Oh,
She's on her fourth book. She's specialty is energy trading. Larry Summers fired her. She was recruited by Larry Summers, working with him on Wall Street. She found out what a crook he was. She blew the whistle on the derivatives fraud.
Yes.
They blackballed her.
Of course.
She came back and wrote this book. A Wall Street Bailout for Main Street became the #1 bestseller for wealth management. It would be a breeze for you to read because she wrote it in language that lay people can understand.
Yeah.
So,
Well, thanks for
check it out. Thank you very much.
California, I'm doing my best. I'm trying to, we're in Los Alamitos Unified School District. We're conservative.
Well, I'm glad you're there fighting.
I'm fighting, and we got 2 liberal teachers running to try to take over the school district right now, and take over the board. I'm like, so it's a big fight.
You're a fight.
So
Here's a get out of jail free card from Hillary Clinton. On the back, you got my YouTube channel. If you want to support me,
Awesome.
You can get a lot of my designs and apparel. You can walk around and piss liberals off.
Yeah.
Give one to the congressman.
Oh yeah, no, I'll give this a joke.
Yeah, sure, give him a joke.
He went to West Point. He's a good guy. Good guy.
That's good to hear.
Good guy to have a good guy.
Yeah. What do you see the prospects for the coming elections?
I
think we're going to keep
I think we're going to keep it. I think we're going to keep it.
I think we're going to keep the House. We're going to pick up like 1 or 2 seats in the Senate for sure.
I'm talking to a lot of liberals out here that will not vote Democrat ever again.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the thing about being on the streets and street interviews,
I think California. I think California is a.
Well, that'll help us too.
California's a lost cause, I think. And I don't
always.
We can't see a conservative wave coming back until it implodes. I mean, when our pensions finally.
I heard once everyone moves,
we're
and it becomes really crappy.
It all just goes to hell and half.
They'll all move.
When Silicon Valley implodes.
I talked to I told the other family. I spoke to the guy from Laguna Beach. He was the auditor for the whole area. And I asked him, he says, well, how's it look? I heard California's going broke. And he goes, I'm getting out of there.
Yeah, no, it's going broke. No, they got, even a little Seal Beach where they're trying to raise sales tax of 1%. Just on their community. Long Beach is like 10 3/4 sales tax.
Yeah.
And he worked for the city councilman for a little bit, intern there. And they're like, wow, I'm getting all this money now. Now we get to pay you as an intern. He's like, what are we doing with this money? This money to fix the streets. Didn't we vote to fix the streets? No, we're homeless people, all this giveaway shit. It's like, I was like, you know what? Create some jobs. Yeah. Teach a man to fish. He can fish with life. Give him a fish. He's going to be back tomorrow looking for one.
Yeah, but
I know. We don't even. We're talking.
I know. I've just come to the conclusion they're insane.
God bless you.
All right, guys, take it easy.
The left twist for nothing.